Welcome back to the Key and Jay Booked podcast. I am your co-host Jay, along with my co-host Key, and today we're bringing you the finale of Freida McFadden's The Intruder. Pardon our little hiatus. My co-host was sick; she wasn't feeling good throughout the week, and then
COVID again.
I know. We just glad that you're here. We're glad that you're back. And then the first week it was me. It was just timing week with the children and football and sports and stuff like that.
Life. Yep.
It's been a real 2 weeks, man. I
It's
was
been
like,
a real 2 weeks.
we
Yes.
ain't been recording. I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna fly. I almost thought about doing the ending myself, but then I was like, nah, I gotta wait for my calls to
You
get better.
Jay, you're really good. Like I love listening to you just talk on our podcast. So I would have tuned in.
Nah, I just want to make sure that we doing it and we doing it right. You know what I'm saying? We doing it right. You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you.
But let's get into it, man, because we are on
it.
the end of the book. We on chapter 55. This is the chapter where Ella meets her father for the first time.
For the first time.
What did you think about the when the social worker took her to her father's house and she seen it was like clean?
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect with the father, especially considering the mother painted her dad out to be like kind of a bad guy, but she goes to live with him and his house is clean and he wants her. Like he wanted to see her. Like it wasn't his fault that he was not able to see her. It was her mother that was keeping him from her. So I really love that she met her father and everything was okay. It wasn't like this weird thing because she was worried, what's going to happen. But he had a clean house and he wanted her. He loved her.
Right. And then throughout this chapter, we find out a couple of key things, right? We find out this is where they made the infinity promise for the Dysteria.
Yep.
Right. So we get now when
it's
she
like
made the infinity promise.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is we getting to find out all of these things. She actually told him that she burned down the apartment.
She did. And he didn't care. He was just like, yep. What did he say? He said something like, good
we
or
serve
bad
justice.
people we
serve justice to those who have it coming.
Yeah. So he was basically like, well, that's what she got. I was like, and my note for that, I said, so her father was also okay with her being a little psycho. Gotcha. I said, like father, like daughter. Literally, Jay, that's why I said like father, like daughter. Because he beat somebody to death at a bar or something like that.
Because they were sleeping with the moms. So basically the mother was sleeping with another guy. He found out he damn near pummeled the dude to death. And that's what caught him his time. So that's like that's chapter 55. And moving on to chapter 56, we find out Carissa Harrell's father was a cop and she had bruises all over her, right? And not only that, she went to get the bat and tried to wail on him. Said that's how, remember how she said in the beginning, how she got fired and everything like that?
Yep.
Basically, one of her students was getting beat on by her father, who was a cop in the area. And she went and got the bat and tried to wail on him. You know what I'm saying? Like once she saw that the girl was bruised up and that she didn't want to really go with her dad like that, that's when she was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wail on him. But, nothing happened. The father didn't press charges. The principal wound up just firing her. And that's how she did it. And then at the end, she said, this time I get it right.
Yes, because she's like, I'm not going to let this mother live. And I figured it was something to do with protecting her kids, the reason why she got fired. And Jay, you touched on that. I forget what you said, but I think you literally predicted that exactly what happened. Like she was protecting one of the kids. And, she had just lost her father. So she was grieving during that time. So it makes sense that she snapped and she was just like, I don't like that this little girl is being abused and she's being abused by a cop. So she felt like, who can I even tell? His buddies are going to protect him. I think what I think about though, I don't think she thought about this through, is that the little girl was still with her dad. Like she didn't get taken away from the dad. And now like she's beat up the dad's car. She tried to come at him. His anger is now going to be directed entirely towards his daughter. That's what I was thinking. Like, imagine after this is all over, it's going to be even worse for the daughter. But of course, she wasn't really thinking about that. She was just thinking, you hurt this girl and I'm going to hurt you, because she was very emotional. But that's what I was thinking of. Like, man, she probably just made it even worse for the daughter,
Right. And as we move on to chapter 57, this is where Casey goes on to handle business. She goes over to her mother's, what was it? Ella's mother's crib. I said Ella. Why do I keep calling her Ella? Ella. Yeah, I'm thinking about something else. I'm sorry. She goes over to Ella's crib. She goes over to Ella's mom's house, and that's when she see her mother Jolene. Jolene is kind of beat up. Looks frail.
She got a wound. Yeah, because remember the stepdad or the boyfriend beat her up and tried to blame Eleanor for it.
and left her just laying there. You know, like she said, she looked sick, she looked weak, she looked tired, pale. You know, she just looked like she was physically and emotionally abused. But
Yes.
that didn't stop, you know what I'm saying, Casey from, you know, carrying out justice as she's tortured. She, you know, she just talks to her, but she talks to her so calm. And even Jolene is talking crazy, like, yo, you supposed to help me. You the paramedics, da da da. She's
Because
like, no, I'm not no paramedic.
she assumed that she
She
was a
assumed.
paramedic, remember? And she started asking her questions. I thought that was hilarious because she was
Uh-huh.
like, wait, aren't you the paramedic? And it was just like, she never said that she was a paramedic. You assumed that she
You
was a
assumed.
paramedic. She has on street clothes. She didn't even have on scrubs
Exactly.
or nothing. Yeah. But she's injured. She's discombobulated. She thinks that's the only person this could be because who else will just be walking in my damn house? You know what I mean? And
Right.
yep, she and then the mother lied. You know, Casey is interrogating her. Did you do this to your daughter? No,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. You don't
Trying to
understand.
cop the
She's
plea.
bad. She's this. And she finally admitted it. It was just like, I knew it was over for her. It was absolutely over. I just couldn't understand, like, Casey, why would you just call the cops? Like, you know, put her in prison. Like, she's just going off killing people. Like, once was enough. You killed your mother. Okay.
Let's go.
Like, and then I felt like she didn't even really check with Ella if that's what Ella would have wanted. Cause like,
Come
there's
on
been
now,
times
carrying
where,
out
you
justice
know,
for herself.
yes, I was just like my mommy has pissed me off before, but if I tell a friend that and they decide to get justice on my behalf against my mother, we're gonna have a problem. Because how dare you? I didn't say I wanted her dead, maybe in jail, you know.
Right,
But yep.
right. And then basically she tortures her, burns her with
Yep.
cigarettes.
Just
You
like she
know,
did her daughter.
and like you say, she finally tells the truth. She thinks she's a medical service ambulance person, paramedic.
Mhm.
Like I said, she looks weak. She's stabbed. She's malnutrition.
Malnourished. Yeah, malnourished.
Malnourished, right?
Uh-huh.
Throughout this whole chapter. And then, you know, Casey took it upon herself to, you know, get her going. Get her up out of there. So 57 was Casey going over to exact vengeance for Ellen.
Wish we would have got to see exactly what she did. It's like
Right.
implied, but I was like, how did she kill
Implied
her?
that she just stabbed out and bleed out and bled out.
Did she stab her again? Did she stab her multiple times? I don't know. I just wanted
Kinda
more
just left it.
details. That's why I feel like I'm just kind of bad. But I was like, how did she kill her exactly? I wanted to know how this mother ended her life. Like I had to know. Yeah.
And then we find out in chapter 58 that Lee knows that if she's dead and Lee's family got to take care. Like Lee knows that she's dead and Lee is her family. So now he has to take over the reign of basically watching her. And that was really like chapter 58. It won't like really long. It was like a 2-page short chapter. So
yeah, it was.
And then we get into 59, which we come towards the end. This is where Lee knew about what happened, according to Rudy. So he knew what happened. Like he knew all about her, according to Rudy. Because he said something to her. And then Rudy said something to her. So now it's all making sense. I'm like, how does Lee know who she is? Right?
Yeah,
how
because before they'd even met, he was talking to Rudy and he said her name. And didn't he say her name? Yeah, he said her name, right? And it wasn't
he said
Casey.
her name. He didn't call her Casey.
He didn't call her Casey. And that's weird because she goes by Casey. How would he know her name? And at this point, I was like, what if Lee is Anton? That's what I was thinking.
That's what I thought.
And then I was just like, but she would recognize him, right? Because I mean, that was really right. I was like, she should, but like I
there's
feel like
some girls from high school that look horrible.
I was gonna say,
I do not even remember.
See, exactly. But I was like, okay, is Lee Anton? And then I was like, because she never spoke about him again. We don't really know what happened to Anton. They were good friends. And then, you know, so I was like, maybe this is Anton and he's like back and he's watching out for her, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I thought. When we find out Lee knows more about Casey than he's letting on, I'm like, yeah, he has to be Anton. And in typical Freida fashion, she literally keeps you guessing until the very last page. And to the end.
You definitely gonna find out. We also figure out that he came to check on Rudy, came to make amends, came to check on Ella. I said Ella, Casey, you know, from the night before. He came to check on her the next day. And he even apologized again to her, you know, about being a frisky old hag bastard.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was dope, kind of making
I thought it was great that he apologized. Yep.
And he also asked like why her and Lee is not a couple. You know,
like,
because he was asking about
your business. But yeah.
So then he's always asking questions and he even knew her name. So then we move on to chapter 60 and that's when Lee called her Ella. And that's where it was like, I didn't trust him. I was like, wait, she about to make him be like a killer. You know who I thought he was? The dude that she hit in the head from the fight where Anton and old boy was fighting. What if that would have happened?
That's a good
that
one.
Would have been dope. And now he would have been trying to kill him. then she would have, and what if he would have tried to kill her at the end? You know, all of this stuff to just make sure. So I thought that that's where she was going. I was like,
you know what?
I
That's
got
such
it.
a good guess because we never hear anything else about that guy. And I was sure he's going to come and get revenge. I mean, she
Now,
knocked him out.
right. But
Yeah.
imagine if that would have been him. He would have been Lee, and then he would have came back to really kill her.
He would have
Or,
killed her.
you know what I'm
But
saying?
he seems to be Lee seems to be flirty with her and kind
Right.
of protecting her because he doesn't like, I don't know. I get what you're saying, and that definitely is possible. But yeah, if it was that guy, he definitely would have tried to take her out before. I mean, it's a storm, nobody else is around. This is a
Exactly.
deserted cabin. But that's such a good guess. See, you're smart. You be picking up on stuff. I
I thought it
completely
was.
forgot
I was
about that
like,
guy.
yeah.
I
Once
forgot
I
about
read
him
it, I said it's
completely.
him. Because
It's him.
in the back of my mind, I kept him in the back of my mind. So I was just like, yo, he's gonna pop back up again, and he gonna be Lee. That's who I thought Lee was from the previous chapters. I'm like, that's what that is. He probably changed his name, and he really at the end want to kill her. You know, you feel me?
Yep.
But that's what I thought it was. And then the book just ends. He makes up a BS excuse, and it ends.
Well, and this is what got me too. Casey is very, very like smart. She takes care of herself. It was odd to me that she didn't want to investigate further how he knew her name because she was just kind of like, oh, okay, that's weird. But it was just kind of like, wouldn't you be concerned that I don't know this man?
Super.
He was already coming off super familiar when I don't really know him, and he's calling me by a name that I have not went by in many, many years. How would he even know that name? Because I've never told him that. I would be. It's like if I met somebody, they was like, "Oh, hey Kiki, hey Kiki, I don't know you." You know
like,
what I mean?
I don't know you.
How do you know my nickname is
Right.
Kiki? You know what I mean? It would struck me as like, do we know each other? Have we met? But she just kind of let it go. And you know how Casey has been basically the entire book. She's very proactive. She's super smart. She takes care of herself. So I thought it was weird that she was just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, girl, you're letting this girl go into his possession and his custody, and he knows more about you, and you don't know how. That's not suspicious. And she just kind of let it go. I was like, that's crazy to me.
And then as we move on to the epilogue, where it's about to get really shaky, we find out that Nell's father, who died, was Anton.
It's actually Anton. I thought that was crazy.
Right. Here we go, Freida. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did it again, right? So we find out that's Anton. Her father is Anton, right? And then we know that Lee and Casey like each other for the most part. But who is Lee?
Who is Lee?
Who is Lee?
He's
right?
Bradley.
And what is his connection to Anton, right? We find out that I'm gonna let you say it. Go ahead.
Yes, Lee is actually Bradley, which is Anton's little brother, and he goes by Lee now. I thought that was such a crazy twist, but I will say I love how she brought all of that together. Like, really, because we were really like, what happened to Anton? We see what happened to him. I felt so bad for Anton in this chapter. I was really, really sad. I mean, because I really, really liked him, and I just wanted so much better for him, Jay. Like, he's in jail, and then he doesn't want anybody to know about it, so he's telling his brother, tell everybody I'm dead. Like, you know.
Exactly, because he's not dead. He's
not
father's not really dead. He's really locked up. He's incarcerated. Up. So I thought that him being alive was like another caveat, right? Of what was going on. But I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was saying. I just felt really, really bad for him. I just wanted more for Anton, and I feel so bad. But yeah, so we find out that Anton is her father. And he's not dead. He's actually been in jail, but he's been telling Lee to tell everybody he's dead because he's ashamed. And the reason why he's in jail is he came back and beat their father to death for abusing Lee. And I think in the beginning of not in the beginning, but you remember that chapter where Anton was like striking that girl over the head over and over and over again. And remember I said, I always feel like it was misplaced. Like, he seemed to be getting better. Why would he just haul off and just be vicious toward her? Especially because he was getting his ass kicked before Casey came in and protected him in the other chapters.
Exactly.
He didn't, but in this chapter, I feel like she kind of convinced me of his, what did she call it? What did Casey call it? Remember, because he has a disorder, but she thought it was something wrong with his heart. But I forgot what it was called. But yeah, like whatever that was, it makes more sense that he has it because now we see that he actually was so angry at his dad that he came back and beat him to death for abusing his brother, you know? So I just feel bad.
That's why he was locked up.
Yep.
And I guess the shame, but he told Lee to look after her. And even Lee says, yo, my brother took care of me so much that I'm going to do what he says, right? Even though I have feelings for Ella, if he tells me to stay away from her, then that's what I'll do, even though I have strong feelings for her, you know, but hopefully he gives me the right of way to date her because his brother's not getting out. His brother has life. I thought that was a cool ending. It was a great story. And I thought she brought it all together. But before we do that, right?
Mhm.
Let's get into our bookmark system. And for those who
All
don't
right.
know, our bookmark system, where we rate books 1 through 5, and we give them on a scale from 1 to 5 bookmarks. If you ever read the Double XL or the Source magazine, you know they give albums mics, but here, you know, we do things a little different. You know, we're still part of the culture, and we do it in the 5 bookmark systems going 1 through 5. So, Key, what did you give Freida McFadden's The Intruder, a psychological thriller, on a scale from 1 to 5 on the bookmark scale for the Key and J Book Podcast?
For the 4.8 bookmarks. This was I know this
That's
was
a classic.
this was almost a 5-star read for me. There were just little things. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head now, but just I talked about them on a couple of our episodes. I feel like it was too much of a coincidence how aligned Casey and Ella's lives were. They both abused by mom, both have cigarette burns, both tried maybe were involved in killing their mom. It felt a little too coincidental. So I didn't like that. And then I felt like I told you, I felt like Anton throwing that stone on that girl's head like over and over. It was just crazy. It didn't fit with his character at the time. And I was just like, but I had so much fun with this book, Jay. I really, truly did. And the thing about reading Freida McFadden books is it's so fun to try to guess because you know you're going to get it wrong. Like she kept the twist coming. Every time I thought I had it figured out, I realized I didn't. And it was fun for me because I never knew where she was going to take the book, and it made it thrilling. It made it fun. And like you said, I love how she tied everything together in the end. Even if I didn't like some of the history and some of the ending for some of the characters, Anton, I still really, really enjoyed this book. And I can't wait to read my next Freida book. I think it's going to eventually be The Housemaid. Jay has been trying to get me to read this series for a really long time. And we know that it's being turned into a movie recently. So I got to read it before it gets turned into a movie. But 4.8 bookmarks for me. This was an amazing book. I really loved it.
For me, I got to be the bearer of the bad news gang. I'm sorry, y'all, but I gave this book a 3.8.
Really?
I'm a whole point down because I know what Frida's capable of. For me, if it would have, because you wanted to be somebody out of nowhere, Anton was talked about throughout the whole book. I felt like old boy that he had a fight with in the bushes after school.
That would have been a good
if it would have been him and he would have tried to kill her in the epilogue, or even if he would have been like, I'm gonna stay with her, but she thought I forgot, and at any moment I'm gonna snap her neck when she's sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Something like that would have had me like, yo, because that's when you really want to jump into the book and save Casey. You feel me? So I know what Frida's capable of. You know what I mean? And I just it hit me. It hit me, but it wasn't like the Freida thriller that I'm really looking forward to at the end. You know, I just read The Inmate, so it was like after coming off The Inmate, and I'm thinking The Intruder was gonna be fire like that. It was a good book. Don't get it twisted, but it did the ending epilogue didn't hit. The book was a 4.5 for me throughout the whole jump. Then I had to take it off at the end because I didn't. I liked the epilogue. But this was more of a happy ending in a Freida thriller
because it usually doesn't have happy ending.
Don't end like that.
I'm not used to Freida,
normally.
so for me,
you know
this is an improvement because the first book I read of hers was The Boyfriend, and I think I rated that one a 3 out of 5. I was just like, I feel like the plot was
crazy because I'm on the reverse. I get it at 4. You know what I mean?
But I thought that plot was ridiculous. I was like, you know. So then I read this one. I was like, okay, I see what the hype with Freida is about, and really, I just have missed having fun reading mysteries, Jay. Like just having fun reading mysteries and thrillers. And this one was fun. I told you, I'm really good at guessing who did it, and I can never guess with Freida books. So I'm just like, I just like that. But I do get what you're saying. I feel like if I would have remembered about that character that Casey knocked out in the beginning, that definitely would have contributed to the rating. But I told you, I completely forgot about him. I just realized we didn't hear from him again, and I just forgot about him. But you're so right. We never got any clarity on that. And it makes sense that he never came back again. Like, what happened to him? Did he wake up? Like, did he come after her?
He woke up. Remember, he was moving.
He was moving. But I'm like, what happened? Did he have a concussion? Like, is he okay? And even the neighbor, did the neighbor die? We don't know if the neighbor that she pushed down her stairs died. I mean, she was in the hospital.
And then it wasn't really even really said that she pushed her. It was
just implied.
Yeah, it was implied.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, those are our ratings, y'all. Don't hold what we say. I still would advise anybody
reading
to read the book.
Subjective. So just because we say this doesn't mean that you will say this. We can all agree to disagree on things as long as we're being respectful. I don't want no smoke.
Right, right. And I still 3.8 is still a good,
It's
you know,
still
it's still a good
good.
score.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? So it's not like, but I'm a Frida junkie. So for
And you
me,
know how good she
I'm
can get.
normal. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm into it more. But you know, that was the end of The Intruder. I like the book again, and I can't wait to read Frida's next book. You know, she dropped 4 books this year, and
Mhm.
it's hard to keep track of, you know what I'm saying? She dropping the book every quarter. So, you know, with her, she might come again at the top of the year and we be talking about this book and it'll be a banger. And that roles might be reversed. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You got anything for the people before we get out of here?
Nope, just of course, remember to tune in. We are so apologetic for our hiatus, but things happen. But we still love everybody who tunes in. We still love talking about books for you. And we hope that you will continue to support us despite the things that happen in life that may prevent us from recording. We love y'all. We love
Yes.
everybody who reposts and shares our videos and encourage us to read other books. Like, please join our Fable Club. We're going to be reading an amazing book. I will let Jay introduce that, but we will be updating you guys on our Fable on all of our socials. Be sure to follow us because I don't want y'all to miss anything, you know, and we got a lot of stuff in store. So
Right. Don't forget to if you're on the big YT, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Don't forget to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram. We got Facebook, we got
we're
Fable.
everywhere.
We're
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, all over, and
Everywhere.
we appreciate the much support. We appreciate the love and much supported people out there that love to read, man. But just lock in, man. I'm that reader. I'm this. What is that? What is it? What do I
What is
say?
it?
What is it
You're
again? We've
the
been
you're
so
the
gone. We've
you're
been so
the
long. No,
I'm
no,
the
no.
reader,
I
he's
got
the
it. I
speaker.
just
Okay,
wanted
you
you to
got
see if
it.
you. No, no. I know what it is. I'm the speaker. She's the reader. I'm just a speaker, y'all. Peace.